The North Star proves that the Earth is flat and not moving, and I'm going to tell you how it's actually biblical. First, I'm going to show you a clip of the stars all circling around Polaris. Polaris does not move ever. If we're truly spinning at 66,600 miles per hour, while also circling around the sun, while also our entire galaxy is apparently like getting thrown through space at all times, why does Polaris never ever move? Every other star moves except Polaris. Many biblical theories think that Polaris is actually God's throne room, and I'm about to blow your mind. But this is artwork of what we think God's throne room looks like. Pay attention to the green here, and it says in scripture that his throne room was like emerald crystal. Now let's watch a video of Polaris through a telescope. We're nowhere near done yet. There is so much more. When you look up, where does the word Polaris come from? The root word means heavenly. And remember, all throughout history, we had sailors and just people in general following the North Star for guidance. You always know to find the North Star, and it's the brightest star in the sky. So let's go back to the throne room for a second. If the throne room is the North Star, which I personally do believe it is, I want you to notice these colors. And the North Star sits directly over the North Pole. Does anyone remember the natural phenomena that occurs around the North Pole? This blew my mind. Look at the colors of the Northern Lights, the throne room, and then Polaris. They're all the exact same colors. We used to have these Georgia guidestones, and in one of the stones was this little channel, and basically it was directly over the North Star, and you could look through it at any point and it just was always there because the North Star doesn't move. That's all that this did. In July 2022, someone randomly did this to the Georgia Guidestones. The very following year, our besties started pushing this narrative that the Earth's North Pole is shifting away from the North Star. Because NASA was started by Freemasons of the 33rd degree, and currently it's full of those same people. So why would they be studying this? They somehow, from Earth, can figure out that the North Pole is tipping away from the North Star that's 33 trillion light years away. This is them trying to subconsciously program us to turn away from God, in my opinion. But wait, there's more. Here we have a very old flat Earth map, and this is what they thought the North Pole was. In Genesis, they talk about the Garden of Eden being where there was 4 rivers. Basically, they describe to a T what this mass of like land is, saying that this is Eden. If I am correct, and God's throne room is Polaris, Polaris sits directly above the North Pole, where it very closely matches the description of the Garden of Eden. And it makes perfect sense to me that the Garden of Eden would be directly under his throne room. Here's where it gets even funkier. Right in the middle is this landmass. Does anyone want to take a wild guess at what it's called? Black Rock. Does the name Black Rock sound familiar to anybody? I don't think anybody's ever been to the North Pole. The only thing we know it for is for Santa and his elves living up there. So not only is this a fictional magic character, but does anybody know the dark history of St. Nicholas? How about St. Nicholas and Krampus? Or the fact that they do exactly what the elites do to children. And we know that Freemasons' goal is to distort and do the opposite of everything that God does. So they placed a magical children herder up where I personally believe God is, in the garden. Of celebrities and elite people like Cat Williams, and I believe Kevin Hart said it at one point, say that the North Pole is like lush greenery and tons of like forests and flowers and things like that. One might say, well, why would they lie? Why would they tell us that there was snow up there if there's not? The entire thing with flat Earth, the reason that they would lie to us is because they're working to cover up the things that obviously make the Bible true. They hide things like this from us and then name massive evil mega corporations after them to laugh in our face and mock us. I don't know if I'm right about everything, but I just like to share my opinion, get your guys' feedback, see if anybody has anything to add to it. Like I said, these are just my personal opinions, and I just wanted to give you guys some of the things that make me believe in what I do. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys already knew all of this, if I missed points, this video is for entertainment purposes only. These are strictly my own opinions.